You are listening to KarbTalk. This is the show where I talk about whatever my $10 and up patrons want to hear about. My name is Finn, but you may know me as Carbonic. Today's topic comes from Glass, who wanted to hear about any sort of musical inspiration I might have had that led to me creating my music. Around 10 years ago, I began to learn how to play the cello. I highly recommend this instrument to anyone who is interested in learning music. It's got a very interesting, deep sound to it, which always adds a unique flair to any composition. I haven't played the cello personally in a long time, but I'd love to get back into it. I think that it can be clearly seen that the cello was my first instrument throughout my recent compositions, as I often focus on long, simple chords than the complicated, fast chords of someone who learned to play the piano first. As a kid, I didn't really have any interest in creating or playing music, but in retrospect, I'm very glad my parents had me work on it, as I probably would never be making music today without that influence. A quick shout out to my cello teacher, Julia Gudimova, who was incredibly patient with me in spite of how hard I was to work with at that age, and who really brought me into the love of music which I have today. Please look into her work if you have the chance. She's an extremely skilled cellist, and her sounds are always clean and filled with emotion. It would probably take far too long to detail every single thing which has inspired me in terms of music, since everyone's music taste changes with every day. Instead, I think I'll point to two artists who I find inspiring, and that I think you should totally check out if you haven't heard of them. Elias Conrad Coldwood is a composer based in Belgium, perhaps most well known for his work on the Off soundtrack. It's a great OST, but I think you'd be missing out unless you check out Coldwood's other work. His album, Crying Girls, is a beautiful cohesive work, and some of the tracks on the pseudo-album, Wastes, are some of the best pieces of music I have ever heard. When he's being unexpected, which is most of the time, Coldwood creates a beautiful array of unique and otherworldly sounds, always finding a way to get across a wide array of emotions through tone and decisive placement of notes. When he's being expected, Coldwood is still able to compose fully solid and meaty sounds, all of which sound great to me. When it comes to creating a scene, Elias Conrad Coldwood's music always makes a great basis for me. Listening to it, I can immediately visualize scene structures, dialogues, and plot beats much more easily. You'd be missing out not listening to his work, and you should check him out right away. For my recommended tracks, check out Safe Zone, Dans les Étoiles, and Crying Girls. Akira Yamaoka is a Japanese composer, best known for the compositions of most of the Silent Hill games. While his purely musical compositions are great, whether they be depressive piano ballads or driving rock sounds, I would personally argue that Akira Yamaoka stands out as a sound designer most of all. His metallic, hellish soundscapes create some of the most terrifying sound experiences that I have ever experienced. He's able to make sounds that are so unnatural, so wrong, that they immediately put the listener on edge and send shockwaves up your spine. I'm not exactly sure what he uses to create these, but if I had to guess, I'd wager it's a mixture of heavily distorted Foley sounds mixed with heavily modulated synth sounds. It's really something else when it comes together. For his more musical tracks, I'd recommend Cold-Blooded, Promise, and Heaven's Night, while for his more soundscapey sounds, I'd recommend Betrayal, Black Fairy, and My Heaven. That's about as far as I can think when it comes to my big inspirations on music. Of course, there's always just things I like, but that doesn't really count as stuff that inspired me in my work and really led to what I make today. Either way, I wanted to thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed hearing this. I enjoyed talking about it. If you want a video just like this, you get one every month for being a $10 and up patron on my Patreon. Link will be in the description. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a good day. Bye.